gather to honor a man whose life has been divided by service, humility, and an unwavering love for agriculture, community, and his community. Unfortunately, I put his name in this first paragraph, but I'm going to take it out and just refer to him as he, but I think he knows who he is. Born in Dothan, Alabama, he grew up in a long-time farming family where hard work, faith, and faith were everyday lessons. Both of his grandfathers farmed, and his father raised peanuts, soybeans, melons, hogs, and cattle. His grandmothers instilled in him the work ethic, humility, and deep love for agriculture that continue to define him today. He attended Dothan High School, where he played football, sang in the school's choir, played softball on his church team, and graduated valedictorian in 1980. He continued his education at Auburn University, earning a bachelor's degree in agricultural science. During his college years, he served as president of the Baptist Student Union, participated in the International Student Committee, played intramural sports, and sang in the college choir. Some of you probably already might know who this is. In 1984, he married his high school sweetheart and best friend, Sherry Dudley. Together, they raised two strong, independent daughters who are now leaders in their own right. For 41 years, Perry Yance has been a dedicated employee of Duda Farm Fresh Foods, where he began as a crop scout and moved into field production of sweet corn, radishes, and then celery, and currently serves as a vegetable farm manager. Over his long career, he has worn many hats, including participating in Santa visits and toy drives for migrant children, serving on several Duda Belle Glade committees, including safety, security, food safety, and charitable giving. According to Sam Jones, Duda Director of Eastern Operations and Capital Administration, Perry has been involved in countless community efforts throughout his 4 decades with Duda. While many of us know Perry, not all are aware of the incredible impact he's made on our community, quietly, humbly, and without seeking recognition. He is a behind-the-scenes leader, someone who gets things done and makes things happen, often helping others shine in the process. If you're attending a local event, you've likely seen Perry, though often from behind the soundboard, just like today. He has handled the sound equipment for Black Gold Jubilee for over 35 years. He also manages the sound for his church Sunday services and has been responsible for the sound at Western Palm Beach County Farm Bureau's annual dinner for many years. Perry has helped run the Black Gold Jubilee Children's Fishing Contest from 93 to 96. He was a member of the 4th Leadership Glades class in 1994 through 1995, and has continued to assist with every year since with the Leadership Ag Day tours. Perry's been a member of the First Baptist Church since 1984 and has served as deacon since 1987, an incredible 38 years. He has taught Sunday school to 5th through 6th graders as well as to youth and high school students. He has chaperoned youth trips, played church softball, sang in the choir and praise team, served as backup worship leader over the years, and now co-leads the young adult life group with his wife, Sherry. With all that Perry does for his community, it's remarkable that he finds time for his family and himself. His service extends even further. Perry has served on the Belle Glade Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors for years, the Western Palm Beach County Farm Bureau Board of Directors for years, the IFAS-EREC Directors Advisory Committee, the Best Management Practices Advisory Committee, EREC Soil Lab Advisory Committee, the Palm Beach County Cooperative Extension Agent Advisory Committee, Leadership Glades Ag Day Tours on Duda Farms, and has volunteered for the South Florida Fair Committee for 27 years. And that's just what I know. Ann Holt, who is not here tonight, she's with her husband Tommy, who's been not doing well, wanted to add a comment about Perry. She said, "Perry's one of the sweetest guys I know, even if he is an Auburn fan." But she also added that that she was glad that she gets to work with him in Farm Bureau. Perry is a quiet force, a servant leader whose impact is felt in every corner of our community. He loves God, his family, his neighbors, and the land. Our community is truly blessed to have him. Perry embodies the spirit of service and leadership. His legacy will inspire generations to come. And it is with profound pride and deep gratitude that we present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Perry Yance.
Goodness. Eve and I actually were in that same class together, leadership Glades, which I hadn't forgotten until this week. I guess the danger about telling me ahead of time is that you write some notes and things you want to say. But I'm grateful, I'm honored, kind of flabbergasted actually, and I'm just thankful for the folks that were willing to recognize me in this way. There's so many that I'm thankful for. I'd like to mention them if I can. My co-workers, a bunch of them back here at the two doodle tables, colleagues in the ag industry all over this room, my church family, and there's a bunch of them here scattered everywhere too, and then the volunteers that I've worked with. I feel like I'm just a small part of a very large family who live and or work in this community. And it's a privilege for me to have been here 41 years with you. We came here to work with Duda, and as the saying goes, we got mucking between our toes early, and we've stayed. And we chose to raise our girls here, and so glad that we did. I'd just like to mention a few people who have inspired me, taught me, encouraged me, and supported me through my life endeavors. I'm grateful to have the upbringing in Alabama that I had. Southern cooking, sitting around the table at lunch and dinner with family, just imprinted values in my life that I'll never get over. And my mom and dad both worked and set great examples for me of loving each other, serving God with their whole heart, and sharing his blessings with others every chance they got. 3 words I think would describe them: hospitality, serving, and teaching. And I hope that I can imitate them. My wife and my children are what I feel like is my greatest achievement, but I can't take the credit for that. That's just a blessing to me from the Lord to have a family that loves and supports me and has let me drag them all over Palm Beach County doing events and things. And they've helped me load up and unload and go and do, and it's been fun. In my ag career, I've been richly blessed to work alongside some very knowledgeable equipment operators who taught me when I was just a young kid from Auburn who didn't know very much about ag in South Florida. And most of those guys have passed on, but it was a privilege to work with them. There's a lot of supervisors and managers that showed me and taught me what it means and what it takes to be successful in farming here. Also had the privilege of rubbing shoulders with what I would call some ag legends at the experiment station early on in my years. Dr. Vic Guzman, Dr. Joe Orsonego, Dr. Emma Wolf, guys that I got to rub shoulders with early in my career. And I really didn't even know who they were until later you realize the impact they've had on agriculture here. And I'm grateful for that. Spent a lot of time with Dr. Rick Raid, and not to mention the other farmers and ag service folks that I got to have conversations with at church or in town over the years. Many of you here, many of them who have also passed on, but they left a great legacy. Belle Glade is a wealth of ag community, and it's just a really neat place to be a part of. At Dude, I had some good managers that taught me some things over the years. One of them was Gene Dodgen, Tommy's dad. He's passed on too. But Gene always said, inspect what you expect. And that's hard to beat in directions for a supervisor. And Bert Ashton, who was my boss for many years, He wasn't a great communicator, but he taught with example. He taught me to pay attention to all the little details. And don't ever get above getting your own hands dirty. Work alongside the people that you have. In volunteering with so many places, the Farm Bureau, the Chamber, Black Gold Committee at church, it's been easy to follow the leadership of folks like Miss Ann Holt, Eva Webb, Keith Wedgeworth, Melanie, and Lamar. We just find out what they need and jump in and help because they give strong leadership. And that's what we should all be doing. That's how we help. I'm most grateful to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because it's His love and His sacrifice that makes it possible for us to love and to serve others. You know, as farmers, we watch the weather, and we need the sunshine, we need the rain, we also watch the moon and the moon cycles and take cues from that. But you know, the moon doesn't have its own light. It just reflects the light of the sunshine. And I like to see my life that way. There's really not anything about me that's very good. But if I can reflect the light of God's Son toward other people by serving and loving them, then I can shine a little light for their path a little bit, maybe. I had so much fun running Black Gold local entertainment for years, and I was talking to Miss Joyce earlier today about how did I ever get into that? And I think it was a combination of working with the choir at Christian Day School, and then them singing out there, and us taking their equipment, and then Miss Barbara Milligan said, hey, we could use that every year, and we need somebody to run it. And I was like, okay. And I was in. I couldn't get out of it. But it's been so much fun watching the kids get up on stage to play an instrument or dance or sing, and they're looking in the crowd. They're looking, and then you can tell when they finally spot mom or dad or grandma or aunts or uncles, people that are there. And then you look around and you see all the video cameras that are going, catching every little movement those kids are making, and the pride that those parents feel. And what a joy it has been just to be a part of that, to make sure they're heard and they're seen. And we need to continue doing that. We've got a great community here, as Jose said earlier. And we need to continue supporting and teaching our kids to participate, to give, and to serve each other, just to jump in and help somewhere. I keep a short list of quotes in my phone. Technology is great. You can write anything down and always have it with you. And just a few of them that have impacted me. One's kind of funny. My dad always said, never expect too much from restaurant tea. It just ain't going to be Mama's sweet tea. And that was his way of saying, be content. Wherever you are, whatever you do, just be content in whatever comes your way. We had a missionary at our morning devotion back in high school. That was a long time ago. When Eva said 4 decades, I thought, who is she talking about? But she said, bloom where you're planted. You know, we don't necessarily always get to be where we want to be, and we're probably not where we're going to be. But wherever we are, we should bloom right there. Bloom where you're planted. And then there's a quote that's given to Theodore Roosevelt. I heard it from John Maxwell, but it says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. But this is what I want to leave you with. This quote's from, I believe, Andy Stanley, and I think it reflects the source of my motivation and my strength. Following Jesus will make your life better, and following Jesus will make you better at life. Thank you so very much.